Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Women in the Paranormal. Join us as we celebrate the strong women of our paranormal industry with your host, Tammy Rosenfeld, on DTMWickedRadio.com.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tammy Rosenfeld, and welcome to the Sisterhood of Women in the Paranormal. And I am the founder of Salt City Paranormal Investigations out of Syracuse, New York. And today is October 1st, 2013, and 30 more days until Halloween. Woohoo! Tonight, my special guest is Kelly Ann Burke from PIRS. Before we get to her, I want to mention two things. First of all, when you go on a ghost tour or a public ghost hunt, please do not vandalize the place or take something from that area to bring home with you. This recently happened to one of my friends, and it's unethical, unprofessional, and not cool. It is totally not cool. And I also want to thank our sponsors, Rolling Hills Asylum, Dream Codes Magazine, and Fort William Henry. And you can find them on www.dtmwickedradio.com. And from my understanding, Kelly has not called in yet. I'm waiting for Kelly. So, what else can I talk about? I know there's a lot of paranormal teams out there that are getting ready to do all their special events for a month of October. If you're with a paranormal team, you know that October is one of their busiest months. And they do a lot of paranormal teams do a lot of fundraisers and a lot of events. And surprisingly, paranormal teams do a lot of community service, especially in October. And they do a lot of fundraising for historical site and everything. I think we are going to go to commercial. Denny, can you go to commercial?
Dreams Code Magazine is a proud sponsor of DTMWickedRadio.com. In Dream Codes Magazine, you can learn all about ghosts, orbs, sleep paralysis, and more. Go to www.dreamcodesmagazine.com to order a subscription and learn more. The historical Fort William Henry Conference Center and Resort is a proud sponsor of DTM Wicked Radio. If you're looking for a relaxing getaway, the historical Fort William Henry Resort and Conference Center is your destination. Come enjoy the beautiful mountains, the gorgeous lake, and everything Lake George has to offer in upstate New York, right off the Adirondack Mountains. For reservations, you can go to www.fortwilliamhenry.com or call 1-800-234-0267. The Fort William Henry Resort and Conference Center is your destination for the perfect getaway.
Oh, hello?
Hello?
Hello? I thought I lost you. Sorry.
Oh, no, I'm here.
Okay, no, I just heard someone say something. But we're based out of central Wisconsin, and we've got at least, I believe at this moment, 8 team members that, like I said, are all pretty diverse and crazy, like us, Mike and I. So we're pretty normal.
How many do you have on your team? 8, you said?
Yeah, we have about 8. Yeah.
Okay. 8's a good size. The old team I used to be on, we had 13 total.
Wow.
So, yeah. But not everyone could go on every single investigation, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. we're taking on a couple new members because of that, because we're finding that there's some, like we've got a couple that are brand new parents, so you know how that, you get very, very busy and life becomes crazy, and doing anything extra besides trying to find time to sleep is impossible. So we're looking to add a few members. So
right. Now, how did you become involved in the paranormal?
It's kind of by fluke. My brother has a roommate, and he called me one night, and he's like, "Hey, I'm heading down to West Bend, which is towards Milwaukee, which is a bigger city in Wisconsin, and they were saying they were going to do this investigation of this old schoolhouse, and or not schoolhouse, sorry, old jailhouse, and they were going to do that, and he's like, "Oh, do you want to come along?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe, I don't know. What are you going to do?" And he said, "Oh, we're going to go on this investigation." And that was back in 2006. I spent 4 hours in this jailhouse, which was really, really cool, and I've been back several times since. And, yeah, that was kind of my beginning. It was by fluke chance. I mean, I've always been interested, but, yeah, total chance.
Now, I know you write a blog, and you do amazing blogs. You talk about paranormal unity, and you did one about the women in the paranormal, so that's kind of cool. Can you tell us a little about your blog?
Sure. It started because you know how Facebook is. You get on there, when you're first starting, and it's all exciting, and you find all these people, and there's ones that have bigger mouths than others, and unfortunately, some of them are not as they shouldn't be the ones having the big mouth. They shouldn't be the ego ones. But anyways, I noticed, and I met up with some really neat people, but nobody knew about them. And I'm like, well, this is kind of crazy, because there's so many good groups out there, but they're not really out there to promote themselves heavily. They're just out there to help. And I thought that was really interesting, and I wanted to do something other than just say, oh, hey, this is what our group is doing this month, and I do that, but I enjoy working with other teams, and I know Paranormal Unity has been thrown around, and some people boo-hoo it and say it's not possible, but it is on a certain level. I mean, obviously you're not going to get rid of the egos and the backstabbing and whatnot, but it is possible. It's possible to work with other groups and really have a good time and really help other people. It really is.
Right, and I work with a lot of groups too, like DTM and just, a lot of other groups, and I investigate with other groups, and you can learn a lot from other groups,
Oh,
new
yeah.
techniques.
Yeah, most definitely. When I got into this, I got into it for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I'll be dead honest. I didn't get into it, to help or anything like that. It was just, the thrill. But then when I started meeting other people, and Mike and I formed our own group, it was like, oh my goodness, this is so much more than just, the crap you see on TV. And so, yeah, working with other groups can really change you. It really can.
Right. I went to a big event, and there was a team there that had this plasma ball that brought up static electricity, and I'm thinking about, getting one of that. And I wouldn't have known to use one of those unless, I saw another team doing it,
Oh, most definitely.
Now, what is the scariest place you have ever investigated?
Well, I don't know that it's... I would have to say Villisca. Not so much that the place itself is scary, it's what happened. I don't know if you're familiar, but 8 people were murdered brutally there, and there was children involved, and that you don't know what kind of energy is left behind, and that I think is what kind of gets in the pit of your stomach. But the place itself isn't scary. It's I think just more or less what happened there that messes with your mind a little bit.
Now, do you think there's stuff in the land there too that happened? Is there stuff in the land, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, we've gotten so many different things, and other groups have gotten so many different things. I don't know.
Okay. Because, we have a place up here in New York. It's called Hinsdale House. And a movie was based on it, and a couple books, and I think some of the stuff comes from the land. It just comes into the place, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's an old farmhouse. I'm sorry, it's an old farmhouse like this is, too. So.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the evidence, the stuff that I've gotten, and my best friend, Shar, she's from Freaks. I love that name. We've gotten is directly related to the people within the house. But there's other places that I've been to. Like, I work at a spa, which I'm at right now, so if you hear the phones ringing and stuff, I apologize. But the land itself is like was buried Indian burial ground. The whole like Green Lake where I work is. And this is a brand new spot, but you hear things and things, go on that you don't understand. So, yeah, I believe firmly that the land can be a part of it. At Villisca, I'm not really sure about. But, yeah, definitely.
Huh. Interesting. Now, I know you've been in the field since 2006, so you're a seasoned investigator. What would you say to a newbie or someone that's trying to get in the field? What advice would you give them?
First of all, drop your ego because it gets in the way and it really clouds your judgment. Don't think that you know everything because you're never going to know everything. And just always keep your mind open to learning and read. Right. I mean, my goodness, how many books have we read, right?
Right.
That would be my best advice, I think.
Yeah, and it's definitely not TV.
No, don't turn your television set off. Don't even look at those things. I mean, they're entertainment, yes, but please don't use it as a reference.
It's a lot of waiting around, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Now, if you could pick one place to investigate, what place would you pick?
Oh, I would go to Romania. I have been fascinated with Elizabeth Bathory since I very young, and she was called the female version of Dracula, and that castle. Oh, I would love to go there. That is my number one on my bucket list.
Isn't she the one that believes in killing people for their blood to make her younger, right?
Yep. The blood of a virgin. Yes.
Yep.
She wouldn't be very far. She wouldn't get very far in this day and age, but maybe back then.
That's true. Now, what is your favorite piece of equipment?
I'm very old school, so all the bells and lights do not. I mean, they fascinate me, I'll be honest, but I'm blonde. I can't do too many things at one time. I will be dead honest. So I usually have my flashlight and my recorder and my camera, of course, but my recorder, I think the recorder is my favorite thing because I can keep it in my hand and I can walk around, and therefore I don't trip and fall if I'm looking at lights because, again, I'm blonde and I can't do two things at once, so it's just the easiest for me. But, yeah, the recorder I think is the thing that I've gotten the best evidence with.
Really interesting. Huh. Yeah, recorders, you can probably find the best evidence because, with photographs, there's a lot of matrixing, and things like that, So.
Yeah, it's hard. You know how the hardcore skeptics will tear your butt apart if you put a picture up. Even if you just say, I don't know what this is, what do you think? They tear you apart. And it's like, no, That's why we don't post evidence. We are like, no, we're not doing anything. That's mostly what we do is private residence anyways, and that stuff doesn't need to be out there anyways.
Right, I agree. I don't post evidence either. That is